I was 19 when I met the man who would become my future husband, and I have been married now for 7 extremely happy years, but I'm telling you, God had to intervene so many times because it almost didn't happen. It is the first day of my second year of college, and I am going into class, and I don't know my schedule. I just forgotten it. I wasn't feeling the school so much at the time. So I was walking in. I thought my first class started around 9 a.m. Wasn't sure, but I was walking into the school around 8:15 in order to go find my schedule. I walk into the registrar's office, and my breath catches because there is this beautiful, beautiful man standing there. And he was the whole package, tall, dark, and handsome. But the really strange thing is that even though I was immediately attracted to him, my first, I'll say, conscious thought was about his hair. And yes, he was gorgeous, but he had this one weird thing with his hair. Oh, I'm telling on him. I'm going to have to show you a picture of him so you know he is really beautiful. He had this like rat tail thing. The only thing that was a problem with him. And I saw that and I go, oh, that has to go. And I was so shocked. That was my first conscious thought about him. And I thought to myself, hold on, Dakota, you don't know him. Don't judge him. Maybe he likes it, trying to be all, I don't know, impartial with it. But I had made a huge judgment on him. So I'm a little shocked at myself, and yet I still knew my schedule. I go and I try to ignore him, try to ignore my very obviously attracted, possessive feelings, and walk over to the front desk and try to get some help from the lady behind there. This lady must have been in a bad mood for the last 10 years of her life because she sees me, and I kid you not, she glowers at me. I don't use that word lightly. She glowers at me and like tries to hide behind her computer screen. Incredible. She was not going to help me. But my Lord and Savior is so good because guess what opportunity that opened up? This beautiful man turns to me and says, "Do you need help?" And he had an accent. I couldn't place it. I didn't know where it was from, but this gorgeous man had an accent. So I turn to him and I go, yes. And there was a computer in that office that was for the students to use. Maybe they did that because they knew the lady behind the desk was so unhelpful. The students got to help themselves. But anyway, he turns his computer. I'm standing next to him and he starts clicking away and logging into the school system. And he goes through a bunch of buttons. He asked me my password information. That sounds bad now, but it was fine then. So I give it to him. Funny how that doesn't come back in the story. And he clicks some buttons and he finds my schedule. And I didn't even know my schedule, but he finds my schedule and he says, "This is your schedule." And I look at it and I go, "Yes." And he goes, "Great." And then he just prints it. And there's like a printer in the office and he prints it out and he hands it to me. Smooth. Later, I learn it was my second year, first day of the second year at that school. It was his first day at the school at all. He had just transferred in and he was a few years older than me, but he had just transferred in for his, I think, like junior year of college. And he had no idea what he was doing. Like I knew the computer system better than he did, but God was guiding him that day. I'm telling you, God was guiding him. So I thank him. And then he goes, of course, in his accent, "What's your name?" And I say, "Dakota. What's yours?" And he goes, "Tariq." Or I think he said Tariq because honestly, I called him Tariq every time I saw him for the next 6 months, but I'm getting ahead of myself. We smile at him. I am holding my new schedule. He's got this gleam in his eye. I think he's attracted to me too. And I say, "Bye." I turn and walk away. And as I'm walking away, I'm kind of excited and I have this private conversation with God. I'm like, as I'm walking to my class that I now know it is actually at 9 a.m. Wasn't late that day. But I asked God, should I go for that one? And I hear God say so clearly to me, "You better get over the other one first." And he was right. There was someone else that my heart was still hurt over. But here's the thing. Way later, when we were dating and out of the danger zone, and we could compare notes about this first encounter, Tariq told me something shocking that he experienced the split second that he saw me. And I'm going to tell you that in another episode because honestly, this entire story is way too long for one video. So you're just going to have to buckle up. See you on the next episode.